I know that human being and fish can coexist peacefully.
Hello and welcome to the Spoilt Milk Movie Podcast. Here at Spoilt Milk, we discuss, dissect, and destroy movies, especially guilty pleasures. Then we decide if it's truly spoilt milk or if it's ascended into a fine, luxurious cheese. So without further ado, let's go.
Warning, this podcast is full of spoilers for the title feature and there's bad language from the start. If you've never seen the film or you're offended by bad language, you have been warned.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Spoilt Milk Movie Podcast. I'm Cham, and as always, I'm joined by the Hobo. Hello, Hobo.
As always.
As always.
Can we establish this?
It was, as always, last week when I said, or the last episode, when I said, as always, I'm Chris.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And this time I'm not Chris, I'm Cham.
So it's never always. I don't think we can trust you. Fake news. Fake news.
But I said, as always, you're here.
Fake news. I'm not always here.
You're not always here, mentally. Katty's here too.
I am.
How are you?
I'm all right.
How's your fringe?
Straight.
Nice.
Whoa, that's very homophobic, having a straight fringe.
I mean, it is straight.
Yeah, but it looks like it hates gay people.
Wow. This is the second time this week you've told me I hate gay people.
I like telling people that they hate gay people, even if they don't, just to make them think about, do I hate gay people? Just so they reassess their lives.
I live with a gay man, which is basically like my gay child.
Doesn't mean you can't hate gay people.
Brother.
No, he's like a fucking kid. I have to look after him.
You have to wipe his bum?
Not that far, but I have to make sure. One time he almost burnt the house down.
Eek.
Something was on fire in the kitchen. I was sat in the living room and he just came to the kitchen door and which is attached to the living room and just like, fire.
Oh.
I'm like, are you not going to sort this out? And he's just like, I don't know what to do. Wait, well, take the oven tray with the greaseproof paper that you just set on fire off the hob, turn 90 degrees, put it in the sink, and then turn the tap on, and you're golden.
And is that what he did?
No, I had to do it. He just stood there and shouted fire.
Oh.
To be honest, I have done... it was when I was in college, but I did the same thing where even though I knew all the steps of what... I've fully religiously been trained what to do when you've got like a oil fat fire sort of thing. I know the right thing. But in the moment, because I went to grill some bacon on one of those grills where it's in the oven and it's far too close and it caught fire. In the moment, there's a short moment of panic where I didn't do any of the training that I'd had like religiously over a certain amount of time. I was just like, Glenn, because I was like, I just need a second opinion on this fire that's happening right now. And I knew exactly what needed to happen, but just at that moment, I just had a moment of panic where my brain went, get someone else because you can't deal with this.
Oh no, Tim's just dumb.
Oh, okay.
Is oil fire where you put like a cloth over it?
Yeah. So
Damp cloth.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just
Just
don't throw water on it.
Yeah, you don't throw water. Yeah.
Do people have chip pans anymore?
I mean, they have deep fat fryers rather than chip pans.
Yeah.
I've
they're
not
probably
been
like tested, aren't they? Not like a chip pan.
Yeah, I mean, a chip pan fire is usually where like a bit of oil spits out and the flame spits up and then it catches the rest of the oil.
Yeah.
And then it starts a fire. But with a chip, like an actual deep fat fryer, there's no flame.
Yeah, true. Oh, my nanny used to make the best chips with her chip pan. And like, I love the fact that we used to go into like a cupboard and there was just a pan in there full of like solid lard.
Yeah, no one used to fucking change the oil.
Yeah, it was just the same oil. So every other week you'd go around and she'd just get it warmed up again, throw in some spuds, and they were fucking beaut. They were so nice and like crispy and salty. Yeah, good times.
Does it not just make you... Because I don't even know why I still to this day have not changed my diet, but whenever I look at anything like that, we had mac and cheese the other day, and when I poured the shit that I'd washed in the sink away, I've got a thing to make sure stuff doesn't get clogged in it.
Yeah.
And I was taking it out, I was like, that's all in my arteries. This shit that I've cut is all in my arteries, and yet I'm still not.
Your body does a
makes me
good
feel-
job of separating shit.
Not really.
I mean, me, my brother, and my sister, we all ate those chips. And I remember we used to go around and she'd sit us around the table and we'd never used to eat food and watch TV at home. But at hers, we could watch it and we used to watch Brave Star. Did you ever watch Brave Star?
No.
This is going to be a good segue again, but it was a TV cartoon about like a Western like sheriff.
I
who
forgot
had,
that
like,
we even recorded,
this-
to be honest.
It
Just
had,
like, fuck, what are we actually doing?
he could call on like the strength of a bear and the speed of a puma. They
Like
were all
Manimal?
lyrics in the song for the show. What's Manimal? Is that Rob Schneider?
You've never seen Manimal?
No, I've never
I don't know
heard
if
of
I do.
Manimal. Is it Rob Schneider?
No, it's a TV show
Mm.
where this guy was like some sort of PI and he could morph into any animal that he wanted to.
TV, like live action or
Yeah.
animation?
Live action, un momento, por favor.
Well, if you're at
Was
home
it like
and you're listening...
so? Did you say like 90s? So the kind of morphing, was it that weird sort of yeah, like hand drawn animation mixed with live action?
Nope.
Well, if you're at home, open YouTube, type in Manimal, and load up the first video that's like
Oh,
red
no,
and
well,
bluey looking.
If we remember, we'll put it in the description.
Yeah,
Manimal.
definitely.
This
Oh,
looks amazing.
This does look good.
Wow. This is exactly how I picture
Oh, a bit of
shit
Bit
from
of
this time.
romance.
romance. How do you know about this shit with Melody Anderson in?
I don't know.
Michael D. Roberts.
when people do like 80s and
Great smile.
90s rip-off, and you think, oh, they're just taking the worst example.
Yeah.
No, they're taking...
Manimal?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the worst example. It looks great, by the way.
It can
Oh,
turn it can turn
speed
into
of a
whatever
puma.
he wants.
Oh, it's
was that-
basically...
A car going through some cardboard boxes. 'Cause it's
yeah, it
saying
looked like it.
it's hit every...
You see that horse that man was riding on?
Yeah.
That's Manimal.
Oh.
Oh
Not
my
the man,
God.
the horse.
So yeah, this is exactly like Brave Star, but that's live action. So
Manimal looks amazing.
we do have a top 3 to discuss. We can't just watch that full episode of Manimal.
I mean, it only goes on for another minute and 47.
That's all you
It's
need.
been about
They can
5
only
minutes
hire
to-
animals for a short amount of time. So the top 3 we're discussing today, because we're going to be doing film animation as part of our animation season, we're going to be talking about, obviously, our favourite cartoon characters from TV.
Well, we decided on TV because we're doing animation. So it needs to be some sort of animation. But we can't pick as favourite characters from film because it might be one from a film that we've thrown to
Absolutely.
mix.
Yeah.
And mine would have been,
Mhm.
definitely.
And mine wouldn't have been.
Oh, would it not?
No.
Oh, right, okay.
Can we hear what yours would have been? Or are we...
I mean, I can tell you what mine is. But
if you know you're going to do a film, maybe
We both
just
just
call
went,
out. Maybe just call out when we do that film that this is
oh,
the
no,
one.
no.
Oh, okay.
So my character wouldn't have been from
What
a
would
film.
you film of one bin really quickly?
I don't know.
Okay.
All right. Well, yeah.
I got very confused.
Yeah, I
there.
did.
I just
you
mean
said
that-
it as if you had a very specific one.
Oh, no,
You're like,
I-
it wouldn't have been in my films.
No.
My favourite character.
Yeah, my favourite character, like the one that I've got right now,
Yeah.
is not going to be.
No, but we were asking you, like, is it because, like, your favourite character would have been in your film and you're like, oh, no. And then you're like, well, who is it? Don't know. So who's your
I'm right
favourite?
confused now.
Who's your favourite cartoon character from TV?
Michelangelo
Oh,
from
fuck.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Do you know what? To throw straight in, mine's Raphael from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I knew it as well. Before we started, I was like, yours is going to be same as mine. I guess it's slightly different.
Yeah. I mean, he's a fucking party
That was
dude.
Leonardo.
No, it wasn't.
Yes.
Okay, now. I think that's quite good. Like,
That's ridiculous.
it was the best cartoon show
Fully.
on TV. Like,
I loved it.
they were Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I mean, I know I'm just saying the title, but it was fucking incredible. And I remember I had a VHS of how it all began, which was kind of an amalgamation of the first 5 episodes blended into one. I nearly wore that tape out. I watched it so often.
My mum my mum bought me the 3 films
Mm.
on video, obviously. And I wore them out, like literally wore them out. She had to tape it off the TV.
And then you just put that in your case.
Yeah.
God, when you said the 3 films, I was going to be like, there isn't 3 films, but yeah, there is.
Yeah, there is.
Turtles in Time.
Turtles in Time.
Yeah.
We'll go back to Japan.
They all get like dark marks on their skin because they're aged, I guess.
It's like liver spots.
Yeah, it feels like, I don't know if that's what it actually was, but it feels like.
They're just old as fuck. Like, I'm 80. So why do you like Michelangelo?
He's a fucking party dude.
He is a party dude. I can't remember ever seeing him in a party, though, apart from in the beginning song.
Yeah.
Where he's just
He likes pizza, though.
He just,
I mean, they all like pizza, but he likes.
He's like mad into it. And he likes to skateboard.
He does like to skateboard as well. Did you ever have the figures?
Yes.
Did you ever have a wacky action one?
Yeah, I had the one where his arms spinned.
Was that Donatello, I think, where the arms... Probably all of them did.
Mine's a Michelangelo one. His foot's a little bit chewed.
I took all my arms and feet off and lost them. So they all had half arms and half feet.
Oh, no, sorry. Michelangelo, and I've got a Splinter as well.
Yeah.
They're fine. It's Hulk Hogan where his foot's a bit chewed.
Oh, do you remember those old wrestling like ones where they had a chewy head?
No.
Like the whole body was plastic. I think they were like WCW ones, but the head was like rubbery and you could chew it.
I remember our wrestling figures. They were the ones with relatively stiff bodies, like big muscular bodies, like arms like that. And The Undertaker in particular looked weird because he came with a hat, but we had like removed it. So he just had a flat head with a cube in the center, which held him.
I used to have a Hulk Hogan Stretch Armstrong.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
God, you had the best toys.
So one of my
And a mug with all his stats on.
One of my older brother's friends, well, I say friends, it's in inverted commas, got arrested because he tried to steal a Stretch Armstrong from Woolworths by just shoving it under his t-shirt. And if you know how big those figures were, it's not something you could hide at all.
it isn't.
I mean, not as a child.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say, like, put it in the shape of his body, like, stretch the hands out.
Like some sort of weird Jesus.
Yeah, and then starfished out.
Yeah. I think he was, between 16 and 18 at the time. I can't remember how old he was, but I remember how
Between
ridiculous.
16 and... Ooh, who steals a Stretch Armstrong at that age?
Well, it would have been, when my brother was coming towards the end of high school, I think.
So like 15, 16?
Yeah, probably
Not
around
between
that.
16 and
I don't know.
18.
I'm not very good with age and thingy. And the other thing with toys I remember is about 10 years ago, my stepdad was cutting down the conifers that was around our garden, and he found a Turtles toy.
Nice.
And it was in there, and it was all dirty and stuff because it had been in the tree for ages. And I was like, we'll just put it in a bowl of water to let all the dirt come off and then clean it properly. Put it in a bowl of water, and loads of like woodlouse and stuff started crawling out of it. It was like something out of a fucking horror movie. It's great.
When I turned 21, I wanted to celebrate being young rather than being like, I'm getting old. And I got all like people in my family to buy me toys again. So I got all the Turtles toys again when I was 21. That was really good. And
Did
now
you have
my
like a mini
6-year-old
midlife
nephew
crisis?
has got I'm hoping like a fifth life crisis.
Fucking midlife.
But I wanted to play a clip from how it all began because I used to watch this all the time. And there's a scene where they bring human Bebop and Rocksteady into a room in the Technodrome, and they strap them into chairs. And I never knew what Bebop said at this part when I was younger. I think I know now, but I want to know if you can hear it. So I'll play it for you.
What do you need them manholes for?
What do you need those animals for?
Right, so I think that's what he says. What do you need those animals for? But now listen to it again.
What do you need them animals for?
And I never knew an animal to be born.
No, it does say what do you need the manholes for, not what do you need the manholes for.
I mean, manholes was believable, to be honest.
But did you ever do that thing when you were a kid, when you heard things and you just took it at like face value and like didn't really think about what the words were and just said the syllables.
Yeah. So what did you used to say?
I don't know, something like, what do we need them animal people? I never questioned that they weren't actually words. I was like, that's just what he says. That's just what Bebop says.
manholes is more believable because didn't the turtle maybe old shoot manholes?
Yeah,
Out of it,
but
so-
if they're getting turned into Bebop and Rocksteady, they're going to need the animals, aren't they?
They are
is that
literally
the bit?
dragging,
Okay.
whatever. What is it? A warthog and a pig?
It's a warthog and a warthog is a
rhino.
pig.
Yeah, and a rhino.
Not what is it in the film? A porcupine
Snapping
and
turtle.
Snapping turtle.
snapping
yeah.
turtle.
I'm like, you've already got fucking 4 turtles. Why are you doing another turtle?
I didn't like.
Secret
Well,
of the Universe.
it was Tokar and Razor, weren't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they should have
And-
just done it.
Yeah, and like the newer, is it Michael Bay? That
Yeah.
I've seen the first one.
The second one we do have them in, and it's Sheamus from WWE, who's
Irish.
no, he's Irish. I was trying to think of which character he was. I don't think he's
Rocksteady.
Yeah, he's
Because
Rocksteady.
Bebop's the dad from Malcolm in the Middle, not the like the dad from the Black Family.
Not
Remember?
the dad from
No,
Brian-
it is the not Bryan Cranston.
Oh.
The dad from the Black Family.
Okay.
It's him. He's Bebop, even though he's like
Oh.
50.
Really?
Yeah, I know, weird, isn't it? So, any reason why you picked Leonardo?
2 swords. I'd like to say it's because he's a leader and he's gone. It was when I was a kid. It was because he had 2 swords, and I
If
fucking
anyone's
love swords.
the leader, it's Raphael.
It's not Raphael. He is just out on his. He essentially shouldn't be part of a team because he's the rebel, and that's what I liked about the more recent film they did, the sort of 3D animation one. They started off where he split off, and because he was.
Do you mean
Thinking-
TMNT?
Yeah.
That one.
He knew he could do it better, and he was a bit of a vigilante,
Mm.
and that made sense for his character.
Mm.
So he wasn't a leader; he was a vigilante. He could do his own shit, but he wasn't a leader.
I fucking
Leo was a
I
leader.
hated Leonardo. We were a bit of a cunt.
A lot of people I knew hated
Yeah.
Leonardo.
At least Donatello was just like a dweeb.
Yeah. I liked Raphael because he was like sassy.
He were hard as fuck as well.
Yeah. I just fuck.
Hard as fuck. I mean, Michelangelo.
He's a party dude.
It's just party,
Yeah.
and I can just relate to that. He likes pizza. Like I like to eat.
Raphael.
I like to party.
Raphael with his shit.
Raphaelangelo.
Raphael with his shitty size.
Yeah, but it's because he'd rather have like up close and personal fight. You don't want to just stick someone from.
Leo would chop your arms off. I mean, he won't. He'll pacify you and
Yeah, he'll be
But-
a fucking vag about it.
So that's our top 3. We don't really need to do a roundup, do we? It's just the turtles minus Donatello.
Yeah.
yeah. But I was like, I don't know. I can only think of recent examples. And then when I was trying to think of what cartoons I know, Turtles came to my head, and it blew my mind that you guys also fucking thought of Turtles.
Fun fact. When I was a child, my nana knit me a Michelangelo costume.
What? Have
Yeah.
you got any pictures of this that you can put on Instagram?
My mum might,
Oh, you've got to ask her.
but I had a little orange knitted mask. And like it was like a tabard, like a knitted tabard.
That sounds great.
That went over, but she'd padded the shell out,
Oh,
Nice.
that's a
and I also had knitted nunchucks.
what? That's so good. You need to find a picture
Yes.
I'm sure my mum's got a picture of me in the garden with a dog, which was a Rottweiler at that point, fighting a tree.
of that. So you had the best toys and the best outfits as well. Your childhood sounds fucking
I mean,
great.
my nana knitted.
Yeah.
So there was kids running around in costumes that had been bought for them. My nana knit mine.
Yours was the only one of those in the world. It was unique.
And arguably, knitted nunchucks are the best kind of nunchucks to get when
Yeah.
you're a kid, because otherwise you're just going to hurt
Like
yourself.
the handles were like fully padded and stuff, and she'd like knit each link and like sewn it together and stuff. They were like
That's
full on like
amazing.
top quality knitted nunchucks.
That's so sweet. We need a picture of that.
Yeah.
I'll speak to my mum tomorrow and
We'll put it on the Instagram for us. And
Yeah. Yeah, you've got to find that. So that's our top 3, and we'll be back to talk about the feature film, which we didn't even mention, which is The Land Before Time.
The Land Before Time. Dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs.
What are you doing?
Taking your pod.
No, you're not. You will not be taking our pod today, sir.
Welcome back. We are here to talk about one film and one film only. The Land Before Time. Do you know it was going to be called The Land Before Time Began?
Yeah.
Originally. That doesn't quite go.
No.
But it made me think about the title, and it made sense that it doesn't also make sense.
Well, it kind of does, because like time is based on like Jesus in it. So you've got like like the years on that.
Years and that, yeah.
Yeah.
Not like seconds.
No.
I'm glad
years.
you're not
19 minutes.
What was
Jesus.
it? What's the crazy Christian sect? The evangelical?
Evangelical.
Yeah, that's it. I'm glad you're not one of those. Time didn't exist before Jesus.
No, but it's like you've got like what is it? BC
Anno Domini.
and A.
Before
AD.
Christ, after Christ is the.
Well, it's after death, innit? It's AD.
Anno Domini. But then there's, what's the new one? Before...
Yeah, I know what you mean. I don't know.
Conventional time or something like that now.
Yeah.
People are like, I don't want to fucking talk about Jesus.
Because like you've got all the caveman shit that's like, it's blah 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 BC, like before Christ. So like before time kind of makes a bit of sense. It's like, it's before all the fucking
Would
Jesus
it not
shite.
have been better to be like the land
before Jesus?
Clocks rather than time. Like, there's still time, I guess.
You make a solid point in regards to, towards the end of the film, without jumping to an actual end, they say, and they live for generations. And initially I thought, generations until like the meteorite came and destroyed them all. But then I thought about the fact that depending on what kind of dinosaurs, depends on what kind of period in dinosaur history they lived, which is across hundreds of millions of years. So,
I mean, if you want to get like super pedantic as well, there's a lot of dinosaurs in this film that wouldn't actually meet each other.
Oh,
exactly.
Forget you're a dinosaur gal.
Yeah. So it is a bit like what you say. It's before time in our sort of human understanding of time. It's before anything that we would classify as time, because they didn't have time. They just looked at the big red circle that went up and big yellow. What do they call it in the film?
I think the big red circle.
Yeah. So that's how they. Yeah. So I get what you mean.
So stupid ass title then. So we discussed what order the films we were going to do, and we kind of picked this one because
it was shortest.
It was the shortest, and we had to turn it around quite quickly. 68 minutes.
Yeah.
Jesus. Did you know that this film was due to be longer?
Yeah.
And had 16 minutes cut out?
Not the whole 16 minutes.
Yeah.
I thought it was only like 10 minutes.
No, 16 minutes. So I listened to like, it was a YouTube video, but it was basically like a podcast from a man who, when he was a child, his dad worked for Don Bluth, who made the film.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he tells this story over 45 minutes, and I listened to the whole thing of... Basically, he paints Don Bluth to be a fucking cunt. And then obviously we don't know if this is true, but he's like, he used to come in and scream at people and tear their work up and be like, this is fucking shit, and throw it in the bin. And he was like, we're not making a fascist movie. And this guy was like, I didn't know what a fascist movie was when I was a kid. And they were going to like can the whole project. And apparently Don Bluth took this kid into like a screening room and showed him a screening of what the original film was like. And it sounds like it was massively different. So not to just like go on and say, if you want to watch it, if you just look for Land Before Time missing scenes, there's a whole 45 minutes about it.
Well, I've heard there's a whole cut that Don Bluth said he had that has never been released, which is all the stuff that was cut out.
So the beginning part, apparently it's like the reason why they're going to find the, what's it called again? The Great Valley?
Yeah.
Is because it's like the dinosaurs got too greedy and ate too much of the leaves till the point where they couldn't even sustain themselves anymore. So they have to move on to the next bit.
That makes sense with that midpoint.
They're kind of like herd animals anyway. And not a lot of the... I'm going to sound like a fucking dweeb. But there was a lot more herbivores in that what's supposed to be like the Jurassic period. There was a lot more herbivores about than what there were like carnivores. So yeah,
kind of
like
makes sense.
It does, because they all like walked in herds and stuff, because that's how they sort of protected themselves from like T-Rexes and shit like that.
The end of the film was supposed to be that they go, right, we've found the valley isn't great, and then the narrator comes in and says, and then they ate more leaves and they ate more leaves until they basically rinsed the valley of all its greenery.
Oh, wow.
And then all the dinosaurs died out, basically. And like apparently the whole film was about like greed and like eating to more than what you should, to the point where you destroy the planet. And apparently he screened it to this kid who like started crying. It opened with Littlefoot's siblings getting eaten in their eggs by like a little raptor that came and like cracked an egg open
so
and just
makes sense why
the
Littlefoot is the only one.
Yeah, and there's like little cracked eggs and it looks all like dark around him. But yeah, this guy paints this picture of Don Bluth being an absolute like cunt, and then how this version of Land Before Time was really dark, and then they had to call in 2 child psychologists who had to watch it, and they were like, no, it's too bad. You've got to cut something. And they cut 16 minutes, apparently.
What I'd heard is they cut maybe about 10 minutes out, and it was all stuff where it was the dinosaurs in peril, along with Sharp Tooth.
The Sharp Tooth scene, yeah.
And it was just because there's too much of that, and it was just too traumatic. Because the scenes in this film with Sharp Tooth and all the bits in peril is really, it's so well drawn. It's so, I still watch it now thinking like, fucking hell, if I was watching that as a kid, I wouldn't have it. So, and you can tell from a lot of what happens in the film that there's chunks out of it, because things kind of just jump and happen.
Well, Sharp Tooth, when it starts, he's like got one eye closed and is like got an eye closed, and then later gets whipped in the eye, and it's because they had to rearrange that scene, that sequence around. So they cut loads of like horrible stuff, and then they put that bit before. So that's why before he even gets whipped in the eye, he's like walking around with one eye shut.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Apparently it's completely butchered and chopped and changed the whole
You
thing.
can tell it's butchered. I think that's the main thing.
I mean, from what Cham said, a T-Rex trying to eat some baby dinosaurs is like the least of this film's worries.
Well, do you want to start at the beginning?
Yeah. So the story is, it's...
Oh, are you taking over the synopsis?
Oh, wait, sorry. I thought this was... No, I'm happy not to.
I said before, I was like, because Hobo picked this, I was like, do you want to do the synopsis?
No, I want to hear Katty's synopsis.
Yeah, go for it, Katty.
Right, okay. So there's some dinosaurs, and the land is in like utter disrepair, and they're gonna go find like the promised land, Nirvana. And there's loads of little baby, well, when I say loads, I mean like 5 baby dinosaurs that just get like left behind. And it's their tale of trying to find their massive herd of dinosaurs that wouldn't have been a herd in real life.
All right, nerd. Pushing up your glasses. Actually, I think you'll find.
So I mean, some people say that parts of this film is a little bit racist. Like when the 3-horn dad is like, oh, well, 3 horns don't hang around with long necks. Actually, he's fucking right.
Well, I'd say I wouldn't say the film is racist. I think they're suggesting
speciesist.
No, they're suggesting that people can be racist or about segregation. They can be pro-segregation. It doesn't mean the film is pro-segregation by having those elements in it.
And we can't judge it too closely because, the dinosaurs were talking. That's not massively accurate.
That doesn't mean
it's right, though.
Yeah.
The 3 horns, the Triceratops, won't be hanging around with the Brachiosauruses.
No, but just because it's talking dinosaurs can't mean it's a film about sort of cultural identities and.
The TV series Dinosaurs had multiple species of dinosaurs in a fucking family
with fucking plaid shirts and helmets on.
If anything, this film is saying that. So that if this is kind of like an anti-boomer film where the parents are saying you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that, and then the actual film is saying, no, we are better working together and being friends. It's a very hippie film in the positive light, I'd say. But Katty, as a dinosaur nerd, what dinosaurs are the main characters?
So you've got a Littlefoot's a Brachiosaurus.
What's the difference between Brachiosaurus and Brontosaurus?
So a Brachiosaurus, it's the slope of the neck.
Oh, yeah.
And the back.
I didn't expect an answer on that one. I was just putting it out there, but nice.
I've kind of not accidentally. I can't see what's fail because I looked this up. So
is he supposed to be a Brontosaurus?
A Patiosaurus.
Oh, okay.
Okay. What's the next one?
So you've got
Sarah. Let's go for Sarah.
Is she the fucking Triceratops?
Yeah.
Sarah,
so she a Triceratops.
Yeah. You've got Petrie. It was my fucking favourite.
Because he looks like a bat, and he also looks like a bit of a pterodactyl.
It's supposed to be a pterodactyl.
Oh, right.
I thought he looked like the bat from Ferngully.
Yeah, he did.
Apparently not a pterodactyl either.
He's just called Batty.
Batty.
A pterodon?
A pterodon.
Yeah.
Pterodons are bigger than pterodactyls.
Really? Because they were small. Petrie's teeny.
He's a baby.
No, but even when he
baby.
meets his mum at the end, she's only like double his size.
Pterodons are supposed to be bigger than pterodactyls.
Well, the thing is, there's a lot
I don't mean like you're wrong.
I'll fucking Google it right now.
I mean like they've drawn it wrong.
There's a lot of argument because even in the behind the scenes, what they say the dinosaurs are, I just hit my mic, say the dinosaurs aren't accurate to what they draw them as.
Right,
so
okay.
It depends on what they say they are compared to what they actually look like and what they actually look like. So that's why...
Yeah. So pterodon is a genus of the pterosaur that includes some of the largest known flying reptiles.
Yeah. I wasn't saying you were wrong. I was saying it's
the
weird
fucking
that they're
wingspans are 7 meters.
Jesus.
So you might have been right. I can't remember which I wrote down, if it was what the film said they were or if it was what they actually were. I wrote down one of them. But so...
Well, you've got like Brontosaurus, you've got Brachiosaurus, you've got like Apatosaurus and stuff. And they're from like the same kind of thing. Like they've got long necks, they've got long tails, but it's like all about like the slope of the back, the slope of the tails, like the length of the tails compared to the length of the neck and stuff. Like loads of things are like... I think it's a Brachiosaurus that can cause a sonic boom with their tail.
Nice.
Like they can whip the tail and it causes a sonic
they kept
boom.
in that they fought with their tails.
Yeah,
they
that was
would,
good in the sharp tooth fight.
That T-Rexes wouldn't really take on those type of animals because of how devastating their tails were. And I didn't know about the sonic boom.
Yeah.
That's cool. Is it Brontosaurus that wasn't a real dinosaur?
No, but...
the name of it was like a sort of there's a dinosaur that was found and they sort of thought it was another one.
It's because they found like the neck of something and the tail of something and they thought it was the same dinosaur. So they called it like a Brachiosaurus and it was like, yeah, actually. But it's the same with a lot of dinosaurs.
Just got a small one stuck up its butt.
Maybe. It's the same with a lot of dinosaurs though. Like they'll find a lot of bones in a small area. And it's like, oh, actually, this is this and this is this. And it turns out like a fucking neck bone of this, I don't know, Spinosaurus is actually a tailbone of something else that's even fucking bigger.
Yeah.
Maybe they were having like a group sleeping session, like the characters in this film, where they all cuddle up and go to sleep.
And then die.
And then died. I mean,
So this is an easy one. This was like the most uncontested one. What was Spike?
Spike is supposed to be... Isn't he supposed to be a stegosaurus?
Yes, yeah.
Is
That's
it?
Of
God, I
all
forgot about
reading
Steve.
this,
What about Ducky? We forgot about Ducky.
every other character had someone said it could be this, could be this. Spike was the only one everyone went, yeah, that's a
Fucking
stegosaurus.
Ducky, it's like Platy or something.
Yeah, so I remember someone mentioned about Plateosaurus, but because of something about... So I think this is the one... I think Plateosaurus is what it is, but in the film, in the behind the scenes or something, they call it an Antosaurus. I don't know if I'm
Is that
pronouncing that right.
the thingy on her head?
Yeah, I think it's something about again, what you were saying about the brontosaurus and stuff like that. They all have the same look, but some had like horns on their mouths and some had the thing in the back of their head.
Yeah, have you Jurassic Park 2, where they're fucking wrangling all the dinosaurs and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
That's probably one of the best, like the most accurate representation for like, oh, right, well, that's that because of the crest on its head and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah.
That's probably the only good thing about Jurassic Park 2. Jurassic Park 2 or Jurassic World?
Jurassic Park 2.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park 2, I think the little dinosaurs at the start that attack that family on the beach, or the kid with family on the beach, I think are they meant to be what the actual velociraptors were, the size was?
So velociraptors are bigger than that. So
But they are
So they're not as
smaller
big
than
as...
yeah. So velociraptors are about the size of I can't remember what its name is, the spitty guy with a fan. Velociraptors are about that size, but they didn't want to make them that size because of the confusion between the two things, because their faces look quite similar. And the ink splatty spitty guy doesn't actually
Exist.
spit ink.
Oh.
Like, it has a big fan, but it doesn't spit ink. They think it's like a Komodo dragon where it's...
Oh, it's saliva.
It's like bacterial type thing rather than actually
It does
spitting
make for
stuff.
a good scene, though. With
It
this
does.
movie. We should probably call it for part 1 there.
Dinosaurs.
Jurassic Park episode. And we'll come back and talk more about this shortly.
Dinosaurs.
This is a break from the podcast. This isn't fake, it is real. Grab a biscuit, a Kit Kat, or toffee, maybe samosa.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Sorry.
Welcome back to part 2 of this Land Before Time episode of the Spoilt Milk movie podcast.
Which has just turned into dinosaur appreciation time.
Well, actually, to bring it back on track, I wanted to talk to you about the character of Ducky.
Fucking love Ducky.
Love Ducky. Why do you love Ducky?
Are you going to talk? Oh, no.
So, do you love Ducky because she's just an adorable, cute kind of character?
She just doesn't give a fuck.
She doesn't give a fuck. Well, do you know the story behind...
Is it going to be some sort of fucking horrible, perilous fucking tale about it being based on someone's kid that died?
Not far off.
It's not based on someone's kid that died.
So, yeah, the girl who voiced Ducky, child actor Judith Barcy, died at 10 years old.
Shit, they're
Died
bad.
before this film came out.
So, apparently her dad was very abusive to her and the mum. There's a big backstory about it.
Was it a
separation.
murder, suicide?
So he went in, shot the little girl in the head, shot
at
the
least
mum
she
in
went
the
first.
head. Yeah, true. Shot them both in the head, then spent 2 days in the house with them and their dead bodies, rang her agent, the kid's agent, and spoke to them and was like, I'm going to miss her when I leave home and stuff like that. Then set their bodies on fire and then went into the garage and shot himself in the head.
Shit, they're bad.
I know. I had no idea about that. It was when I went on IMDb and noticed that her picture was still of a child that I was like, hang on a second. Went into it and was like, oh, fuck, yeah.
I remember knowing it because there's another film, I think, that she's in that first clued me onto this. And,
well, she's in American Tail as well.
Yeah, another animation film that I fucking loved.
Yeah, such a good film.
And it's crazy to think that at this point, at the time, money, she was on 100K a year from the age of 7. She was about 10 when this happened.
Oh.
And she's a voice in All Dogs Go to Heaven that was released after she died.
Another great film.
And she was on such a trajectory to be, and her, and maybe it's a thing that you saying, oh, she would have been so good when you look at the voice of Littlefoot. And I think the voice of Littlefoot is a great actor, especially a bit where he's talking about his mum dying and like, where's my mum and stuff like that. It's really heart-wrenching, but he's kind of done fuck all after this. He's still alive. But she had so many roles.
So you wish it was him. Is that what you're saying?
Just going to say, like, you know.
But she was in some kind of like Ted Danson TV show as well.
She was in Cheers.
Cheers. Was that it? I saw pictures
Was
of
she
her.
in Cheers?
She was like one of the kids sitting on Ted Danson's lap.
Lucky girl.
I don't remember Cheers well enough to know what a character
Fucking love
was.
Cheers.
It's good, just daytime TV.
Yeah.
Shall we actually talk about, because we've talked about Don Bluth, dinosaurs, death and murder. Shall we talk about like the actual film?
The actual animation of the film.
Yeah, the animation of this film at parts was stunning. Like the opening bit where it was under the water and the James Horner music, which is amazing. Like,
and
I
you've
listen
got
to
the
that
weird
music
like
anyway.
creature coming out and
And that kind of like
flopping out.
weird effect of it looking all like Ripley. That looked amazing.
Do you not
love
think
the voiceover as
like
well.
water and dust from animation at this time looks like no other?
Yeah.
Even if you did hand-drawn animation now, the style of how they draw water
the
and dust.
style.
I honestly...
But not even just the water, like the bit where they were like in the oil later, the liquid in the drippy feeling, that looked very like Fern Gully, which I found out Fern Gully isn't Don Bluth. I could have sworn, I was like, where's Don Bluth in his like list of films? It looks so similar, but it isn't.
It's just...
Fucking love Fern Gully.
Don't think I know any... I think the water especially looks the same as American Tail and... I don't know why my voice went weird then.
Are you getting choked up?
There's a certain texture to it.
Yeah.
My infant brain.
It looks gloopy.
Yeah, it does look gloopy.
So, because it's not clear water, it's always mucky water in some sort of way. It's like an alcohol or it's a dirty.
Not that grey water.
And yeah, my brain remembers that, and it remembers the Pentagon water in the star leaf in this film. You know, and I just remember every part of it. And
the witchcraft water.
What?
A pentagram.
No, Pentagon.
Yeah, but pentagram.
Oh, okay. It wasn't like Littlefoot looked into a water and he got...
I mean, it could be.
Maybe.
I'm just reading into everything right now.
There's no hidden messages in this film.
There could be. Have you played it backwards?
I'm going to play it backwards now.
So apparently Spielberg wanted to make like a version of Bambi with dinosaurs. So we get the
mum dying
early on. That was so sad. And even watching it again, and I thought, I'll just throw this on last night. It really gutted me.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, poor Littlefoot. Well, actually, I was like, you're being a bit of a dick when he was like blaming her a minute later and was like, oh, it's all Mum's fault or whatever. But when she died and she was like, follow your heart, Littlefoot, I was like, oh my God.
I thought the only thing that stopped it being so heavy was, even though the narration kind of relayed it on thick, the narration also allowed you to move on quicker. Because I think if you just had those moments silent without the narration, it would have felt like you were sat with it longer.
Well, apparently the original version, when the mum dies and it starts to fade out, it just faded out and it went, that's the point when Littlefoot knew he was truly alone. And then cut to the bit with the little pterodactyls fighting over some cherries or whatever. They went in and added the bit with the old, like the old one that's like, your mum's still with you, she's always in your heart. And then it says about him being on his own or whatever.
I like that message, but it comes in far too soon.
Yeah.
I like the bit with the pterodactyl going,
yeah.
It was really cute.
I thought it was like a sexual take my cherry kind of thing.
What?
I didn't really.
I mean, apparently, the herds of the fucking long necks are supposed to be quite like elephant herds,
Shit.
where it's not just like one like mother that'll feed like the babies and stuff. There'll be like multiple females that like will
take over.
Yeah, will take over. So if like one mother does, I mean, elephants mourn like deaths.
Yeah, I was
going to
say. I thought you was going to say they mourned for so long.
But one like female will take over like the main matriarchal let's say mothering. I can't pronounce the other word. It'll take over the mothering duties of another one if that one dies.
Did either of you get the fact at the start of the film that his grandparents were still going to be there? Because I felt, even though I knew the end of the film, when watching it again, I didn't feel they set up the fact that after she died, I knew there was other dinosaurs of his creed there, but it really felt like they put them there and then suddenly they disappeared and it was just his mum and died and then he was alone. And I didn't think they set up at all that he was going to have...
Do you know what I really liked about that beginning was the fact that there was no father and it was like a single mum with her parents, but there was no mention, there was no, your dad died in the war of the fucking long necks or something.
It's because the mum didn't want to be like, your dad's fucking that other brontosaurus.
Where the southern long necks took on the northern long necks or whatever. There was none of that.
War at long necks.
Yeah, it was just not mentioned. And I quite liked that. It was like, you don't have to have a dad. You can have one parent who's got a support system. And it was quite like forward thinking, quite progressive for its time. I feel like with Disney films, because I know Don Bluth he worked for Disney and then left. And like he released all his films on the same day as other Disney films to try and rival them. But they're always very much like, we need to explain everything. Why the parents, why this kid's single, why it's single and ready to mingle.
It is always like Disney is very... mum and dad, you've got to come from like
even
this
Frozen,
mum and dad family.
It's two parents, they die, but it's a mother and a father, and they die on like a noble quest.
Well, it was Paranorman that had the first like gay relationship in like a
love Paranorman,
like a modern like kids film.
We don't have enough films
Diversity.
like Land Before Time that challenge enough of what Disney do, which is why I was quite annoyed that
It's like,
Claws
fuck Disney.
didn't get more recognition because it did Disney better than Disney.
You say
I
that,
think.
actually. We're actually, I'd say, in a point now where we've got like Leica are quite big, and then you've got like Illumination. There's like, I know the Minions films or whatever aren't like amazing, but there's other studios that are. Is Illumination, they do Ice Age as well, don't they? And there's some other, I'm not a massive Ice Age fan, but it's not all, you don't just look at animation now and think it's all Disney or it's all Pixar.
Well, then,
there are some others.
they're not, I mean, this film, when it came out, it was like the biggest animated film of all time, where nothing can go up against Disney's marketing. So Kubo and the Two Strings, great stop motion film, absolutely amazing visuals. Didn't get any sort of...
Well, Missing Link this year was Oscar nominated but lost to Toy Story 4, and it's just...
Yeah, but the films that lost to Toy Story 4... Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Toy Story 4 doesn't deserve recognition, but the films that lost to it...
I lost interest after the second one.
Yeah, I've only seen the first three.
I've seen third one and thought, this is fucking shite. And then they had the fourth one were coming out. I was like, I'm not even going to fucking bother. Like, third one was shit. Like, why would I even waste my time? I'd rather sit in dark and masturbate.
Why in the dark?
Get some mood lighting, get some candles, enjoy yourself.
I say sit in a room with mirrors and masturbate.
With a strobe light and try and keep pace.
So you're in like your own stop motion.
Fucking swinging body bags like in that scene of Blade.
That'd be great.
Oh.
See, this is what Paul's missing. It's missing artistic touches.
This is what we get for doing a podcast after many beers.
We've really not even talked about rattling through the characters. Quite liked Littlefoot, loved Ducky, loved Petrie. Sarah annoyed the fuck out of me and spiked me.
But I like
She's
Sarah
good
was
though.
annoying.
She's a good character. She
Great
just annoyed me.
character.
Oh, she can suck on my donkey clit.
Donkey clit.
Does that mean your clit is
just
like
got
a donkey's
massive
clit? Or your
donkey's clit.
Your clit is as big as a donkey.
People say suck on my donkey dick, so why
Yeah,
not donkey
that's-
clit?
Yeah, but donkey dick means you've got a dick as big as a donkey.
I thought it was as big as a
Donkey's
donkey's.
dick.
Yeah. So it's a big.
You just said as
dick?
big as a donkey.
Oh, no,
The
sorry.
actual donkey.
I meant a
You've got like a
donkey's.
12-foot
I remember
dick
plural
on it.
donkeys.
I
which
don't know if
donkeys have big
I don't know
dicks.
if donkeys have clitorises, so
And is it
Yeah.
good to have a ginormous clitoris that hangs around?
I mean,
Just hangs out, I mean.
as we talked about off the podcast, there's a niche for everything. So there's probably
Yeah, there is.
people who are massively into big clits.
it's like clit willies.
Yes, actually, I've
no,
heard of
let's
that.
not get
Clit
back
willy.
onto clit willies. We
China
talked
from
about
wrestling had a
China,
clit
yeah.
willy.
We
I know,
talked
I've
about
shown you all the
China.
pictures.
Yes.
Had a little bell end and everything.
So yeah, Sarah's character, I liked it. I liked that she was, from the start, she was just like a fuck you, I'm going to fight you type character, which is, especially for 88, is an unusual time
She
for...
was an only child.
Yeah. And I think the...
But she isn't, though. She's got sisters.
And she was still an only child type character.
Yeah. She was full of shit. She was the type of person you avoid. But she was strong. She didn't give a fuck. And I think while she was a dickhead and I hated her because of how much I loved Littlefoot, I think she was a strong character.
Littlefoot. It's all about Petrie.
Petrie's quality as well. I mean, do you know what I liked about this film as well? The fact that their plan at the end was, we're going to kill this motherfucker.
Oh, fuck
They
yeah.
weren't like, let's put him in a trap or get him arrested or get him demoted
sorry.
or something like that. Like, it was like, we're going to find the biggest, deepest, darkest hole. We're going to throw fucking Sharptooth down and then we're going to lob a rock on him so he doesn't swim out.
Just before I say anything else, so I know your favourite character was Petrie.
Yeah.
Mine was Littlefoot. What was your character?
Ducky. Love Ducky.
All right.
She
Ducky
was
kind
amazing.
of books a trend, but I was trying to throw back to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles thing.
Yeah.
Littlefoot is the one who comes with a plan to kill Sharptooth. So
He's just a bit
fuck
of
you all.
he's just a bit of a fucking dick, though, isn't he? He's like a bit of a know-it-all. Like, oh,
He helps Sarah when she's like, I'll find my own food, even with and he doesn't want
Yeah, he
any
does do that
applause.
shit.
let her find her own food. Fuck
And
her off.
he's leading people in the direction that he knows is right, and he's got verification.
No. He thinks he knows
He's got
right.
verification that's right.
What verification?
Well, compared to Sarah's, I think this is the right direction. She just thinks this is the right direction, where he has directions.
In what way?
He's getting cloud messages
Well,
from
his
that
parents
Mufasa scene.
His parents tell him to follow the sun of the round circle. They tell him to look for this particular type of rock, and they tell him it's in a valley.
So all this is, it's not coming from Littlefoot's knowledge, well, like fucking intuition. It's because Sarah's dad
Yeah.
didn't bother to fucking tell her what to follow.
Yeah, so
But
that doesn't mean that means she's more right by saying, I think we should go. She literally just says, I think we should go this way because it's easier. And he says, I've been told this is the direction. Both
I don't think
One
that's
is
his
more wrong
argument.
than the other.
I think his argument is, well, I'm right and you're wrong, you fucking 3-horned cunt.
Yeah, they might have cut that line. Don Bluth would have had it in.
I think this is where it does fall apart in regards to character arcs because
If that were me and my mum had turned around and Oh, sorry,
Some banging.
tapping.
Bang, bang, bang.
Fucking aggro. If my mum said to me, right, come on, tiny baby, long neck Katty.
Wide head Katty. You and the other wide head clan.
So if Oak goes tits up, you follow this way. You
Follow the rock that's got a wide head.
Yeah. You look for this, you look for that, you follow that way. And if you lot were just like, oh, nah, I think we should go this way, I'd be like, look, you two, you should know, my mum told me directions. If you don't want to come this way, fuck you.
But that sounds
That's what
like
he
you're
does.
arguing for little.
That's what he does. That's literally what he does.
So you're like, oh, well, he's like, oh, well, Sarah's
You were
just like,
saying- No, I was saying she's full of shit. Like, why would you follow her? Because she just goes, I think this is the best way to go.
Then you just leave her. You don't try and rescue her.
That's what he did. You were saying Littlefoot's a bitch, and I said, no, he
You
knows
didn't
where
say
he's
that.
going. Have you just switched your argument?
Maybe.
Right. Katty loves dinosaurs in all forms.
I've lost the train of my argument.
So, right, okay, then. Well, they
Oh my
end
God.
up getting to the valley. What's it called? The Great Valley?
The Great Valley. The Nirvana.
They somehow kind of just stumble along and find it.
I want to also note that a lot like other animations of this time, certain characters have certain personalities that relate to certain types of drugs. So
Oh,
Spike
okay.
is clearly
He's
like
obviously a stoner.
Yeah.
Mm. Petrie's a bit of a cokehead.
He's on whiz.
Say, yeah, fucking, I can fly. No, I can't.
Yeah.
Fly.
It's on speed.
Is Sarah like one of the aggro cokeheads, sort of the shitty?
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah. And then
What's
Ducky.
fucking
Ducky.
long neck all about? Littlefoot.
No, he's clean.
He's
Just the
clean.
wholesome.
Ducky's like MDMA, maybe.
Well, she keeps repeating herself. Yep.
just
Yeah, which one gives you dry mouth?
I mean, pills are him.
Yeah, there you go.
And I'm so
Just getting
glad that even though this film has moments of where the parents are talking about segregation, as you mentioned, there's no like racist characters. Like they could have easily made Ducky a gollywog type character. They could have easily made.
Don't use the term gollywog.
No. I'm saying how they could have. They could have made each of these characters like one of
in
them.
Dumbo.
Yeah, exactly. They could have easily made each one of these characters a specific stereotype.
Mm.
And we've seen plenty of examples from the 80s and earlier where this has been the case. And I'm so happy this isn't the case.
Should we round up our thoughts at this point?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, am I going?
It's up to you.
I mean, you didn't answer when Cham was just
you
like,
just looked
should we
away.
round up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is...
Oh, you are going first then?
Well, what? You just asked me if I'm going first and then left a
No, I
whole
didn't.
silence.
No, I didn't. I went, are we rounding up?
Oh,
and you just
okay.
looked away.
Are we
Right,
rounding up? Shall we round up?
Yeah,
What's
can
the
do.
roundup?
Just rounding up our thoughts.
Do you like it? Do you not like
I don't know
it?
if I'm allowed to say my answer now.
Go for it.
I think it's luxurious cheese.
Right, okay. Anything else?
I think it's very closely a luxurious cheese. It clearly cut out so much that there's bits that really annoyed me and I didn't want to put it in there.
Mm.
There's essentially this is a film of a series of things that happened because they seem to cut out all the bits of why the character did things.
Mm.
Like when they split off, they get the party that goes the dangerous way, suddenly just helps them.
Mm.
There's no turmoil there. And it's filled with all these bits where there's choices are made and then they just resolve for no good reason. And it really annoyed me, but I think a lot of nostalgia and a lot of just good animation and good voice acting won me round, but I'm going to put it as a luxurious cheese.
I'm going to agree with you. Very similar reasons. When you hear about things that have been taken out, you can see that it's been chopped up. I never noticed as a kid. Great soundtrack. Great score by James Horner and a great Diana Ross song at the end. So, luxurious cheese for me.
I did right like it up until you told me about the argument about what dinosaurs were supposed to be what.
And now you don't.
And now I don't like it because if you can't be sure on what dinosaurs you're fucking animating, then fuck you, dinosaur animators.
So are you going for Spoilt Milk?
Yeah. If you can't get a fucking dinosaur right, and you're basing your film on a dinosaur, I don't want to know.
Right, cool. So it is luxurious cheese. Sorry about that. And that's our second animation film.
Yeah.
So, toodle pip.
In a bit, lads.
Bye.
That's my dinosaur noise.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Spoilt Milk Movie Podcast, you pieces of fucking shit.